is with us having a new terminal is the expectation of commercial airline flights in and out of Ocala's airport. And then let me ask you, before we get into that, all that stuff, Brad, I got to ask you, did you guys hear about this rumor for a long time that they were going to build a new airport in Williston and call it the Ocala Gainesville Airport? Mm-hmm. Was that
yeah, more towards Micanopy, but yeah.
Was that actually a thing that was being talked about for a while?
It was, because you have land developers and people that have money and they want to have influence, and so they think, hey, I'd like to have this, so they go to council and they run it through, and then the numbers just didn't work out. So at the end of the day, an investor has an idea, and they think it's a great idea, and then they run the numbers, and it's not such a great idea. So
no, it didn't sound like a great idea.
Yeah, well, to them it did, to an investor and somebody, I'd like to have this over here. We'll make it a brand new, big, it's great, we'll do this, we'll do that.
Yeah.
But no.
No. But anyway, there is a lot happening at our airport, and in lieu of the FBO/terminal that'll be opening up, I think you messaged me that they're looking for a grand opening here at the end of February.
They are, yep. February 28th.
Yep.
We're going to have a nice big grand opening, so come out, say hi. There'll be punch and pie.
Mm-hmm.
Is there really?
No, not really.
Oh, okay. I'll just go for the punch and pie. I'm good with that.
There may be. I have no idea.
But that's on their end of the airport. Our end of the airport is
which
what
is
we're
the better
doing,
end.
which
Yeah.
is the better end. It's the busier end. It's the more volume end. It's the reason that stuff Matt, can get built.
Yeah,
on the grand opening,
what we're supporting here with our flight school is what we're getting at.
Brad and I went down yesterday and took pictures because all of our maintenance crew, which has grown exponentially, were down there and wanted a picture of the Navion. So we went down there, and it is a sight to see. It is on the ground right now inside of the terminal.
Yeah, and
it looks incredible.
I was going to say, for those who are listening, we mentioned yesterday they're putting some final touches in the terminal, and one of them is going to be hanging a 1947 military training aircraft, a Navion or Navion, some people call it, that'll be donated in a way from Ocala Aviation Flight School and Maintenance, and it'll be hung, which is really unique.
It is 15 feet in the air. It's kind of a 15-degree bank angle. And
is it? They're actually going to...
Yep, they're going to bank it down so you can see it all from all angles.
Pretty neat. Is it going to be the polished aluminum? Is that what they're looking to do, or are they thinking of painting it?
No paint. Polished aluminum. So polished aluminum, but it's left in a...
Patina?
Somewhat of a patina state, because it was a used vehicle. It was a training machine.
Yeah,
so
it was an actual training one. It wasn't just...
We didn't want to leave it in perfect, new, absolute condition. We wanted to see it kind of as it was used, because it was used as a trainer. So we wanted it to stay in that state, and it looks really, really cool.
Awesome. Just trying to get the camera working.
I see that, yeah. Really? All right.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Hang on.
I love it when you start talking on the radio about what you're doing, and people can't see it anyway, and so it's kind of funny.
Well, if they're looking at the YouTube, obviously
if you are looking at the YouTube and you can see, I remind myself of the guy in the khakis.
The guy in the khakis?
Yeah,
you are the guy in the khakis.
Yeah.
See?
Jake from State Farm.
Thank you. That was it. Every time I wear this red shirt, which people on the radio again can't see, but I feel like I'm Jake from State Farm.
Well, she sounds.
Oh
hideous.
yeah. What are you wearing?
Yeah,
Brad from flight school.
Exactly. Yeah.
Khakis.
Yeah, because everything we normally wear is blue, but I have a special red shirt, to celebrate WOCA. Yeah, that's why I wore it. Yeah, I have no idea.
The one day, Brad, I threw on one of the first generation flight school flight instructor shirts, and I had on my blue khaki cargo shorts, and I walked in, I looked at Zach, and I said, I dressed like Brad today. Old style Brad. Bringing it back.
Old style Brad. Bringing it back.
Back mid-2000s Brad.
Yeah,
late 2000s Brad. Yeah.
So back to the airport.
Back to the airport. So the flight school in itself, we've got a lot going on in ourselves with the amount of students that we have, which we've now within 2020 still doing really well with what we have with the Liberty University program as a satellite flight school. Mind you, I'm still under the impression that we're one of only 8 in Florida that are associated with the Liberty University, or has it gone up a little bit?
It's close to that. I know that they added a couple. The way that Liberty works is really great. Is they don't want, they don't want to saturate, the area. They don't want too many in one area. So they try and keep them far enough apart to where you're not competing with each other, but close enough where people can actually use them. So that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're an affiliate of Liberty University, which has been extremely helpful. It's a place where students can go. They can get a good education. They can do it through online. So they can actually get a bachelor's degree online and do their flight training with us. So it's definitely a good thing.
Back up and say what Liberty University is.
Liberty University is a university.
That's incredible.
Isn't that awesome?
That's amazing.
Liberty University is a major university in Virginia.
Yep. Lynchburg, I believe.
Yes,
Yeah.
in Lynchburg, yes.
So you don't go to the university, for those listening.
Well, you can.
study online here. Not if you want to fly
I
here.
just said online.
Yeah. You study online here, but you fly with us and you take all
For
the
those who are
ground
listening,
courses
I got
with us.
Albert and Costello here in the studio.
And then he's going to start throwing out acronyms in a minute. So I'm going to pull in Matt Groh and say, okay, wait, IFR is this.
Yeah.
BFR is that.
Okay.
Who's on first?
Yeah. Okay. So yes, we obviously you don't go to Lynchburg to do your schooling and fly with us. That would be too hard. So the degree is online.
Yep.
And then you do your flight training with a school like us.
Now, with that, which a lot of people need to understand is when you put this platform with the university with an online course, that's a better opportunity to be able to be financing the money if you ever wanted to become a pilot.
Yeah.
The idea of trying to do a lot of that stuff on your own, which I consider to be a trade skill without the college degree, it's hard to get financed.
It is.
No one wants to loan money, and we've been working on this, Brad and myself have been working on this for years about who to talk to let people know that it's instant job placement if you were looking to finance somebody who's going to not only acquire the certificates but then be in the industry to work and make the money to pay it back.
Yeah.
However, it's high risk. But with the collegiate program, the way it offers with the 141 is that with the online degree, you're able to come to Ocala Flight School as an associate of the so-called lab work or satellite flight school to get the actual pilot certificates done.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's through the college, they actually do. You can get the financing. You can get grants. You can use different stuff. So it is
Sallie Mae,
extremely
Freddie
helpful.
Mac, the
Yeah.
Pell Grant.
And then obviously VA too with the
Huge.
huge. We were trying to do that on our own in its own self, and I did that at the old flight school I worked at. Now we don't have to. They've got their own program that they've got set up that you can talk to them at Liberty in lieu of your VA benefits.
Exactly. And what we're trying to do is we are trying to work with a local college to trying to get something like this going here locally, just to make it a little bit easier, bring more into Ocala itself. So there's some meetings going on. I won't mention with who yet because I don't want to ruin anything, but we are looking at trying to make something happen.
Yeah, excellent. We're going to take a little break, and then when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about aviation in itself. Just talk to you guys in general, too. Just shoot the breeze, right?
Sounds good.
It's News Radio. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, WOCA Ocala, The Source. We'll be back after this.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
You just have to say it's a happy day. The old ticker hasn't been clicking and your kicker hasn't been kicking, but the hospital you can now leave. To rehab you can now cleave. The folks at Palm Garden you got to meet, you can tell their services cannot be beat. Working with nursing and therapy all day, you're gonna get better the Palm Garden way. Find out what the Palm Garden way means to you by taking a tour. We're located on the corner of Southwest 27th Avenue and 34th Street.
Today will be partly sunny with a passing shower for the afternoon, high 73 to 78. Evening showers, otherwise mostly cloudy for tonight, low 58 to 62. For tomorrow, it will be partly sunny. Thursday's high 73 to 77. Then tomorrow night, clouds will increase with a low 57 to 60. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion, and learn how they can help you.
Probably shouldn't mention that though.
Yeah. And we're back. You're listening to AM Ocala Live on WOCA Ocala. In the studio, I've got Brad Barursma from Ocala Aviation Flight School and Services. Dan Martone, of course. This is your building, so why not?
Yeah, hey, you know. They let me have the keys. Might as well
Yep.
be here, pay the rent, right?
I had a caller earlier this morning, which was nice to talk to him. I think that was Hugh. He was pretty much asking me some questions about aviation in general. I think the curiosity what that guy has in aviation is great. He's asked some good questions. And thankfully, they're within my wheelhouse that I was able to answer a few of them.
Well, I think
I had to
the-
look up the Gainesville runways, though. I screwed that up.
Well, that's okay. Yeah.
But nonetheless, aviation is something that through our community, some people aren't aware of, and some people are fully involved. And there's a lot of people who are fully involved.
And it's always been that way. Brad
Yeah.
and I started the show in 2010,
Yeah.
a little bit, and we had a half-hour show. And you'd be amazed. There's a runway in Ocala.
Yeah.
Well, no, the airport, not just a runway.
They didn't know.
Yeah.
They just didn't know. So a lot of it is just awareness, and so
Yeah.
we hope to bring that to the community.
Yeah. Now with everything that we were talking about, what's actually transpiring with the airport and so forth, we were trying to direct it more towards what we're doing with the flight school. Now, the volume of our flight school has increased. You know, I've been there myself now about 5.5 years, and I count the half for the time I was training because that was literally 6 months. And that means I've been in Ocala almost 6 years, and I've been an instructor for almost 6 years. My God, where's the time gone? But in itself, we've increased or ramp up the volume of the amount of students we've had. And for those who don't know, we do so much with international students in itself. Right now, I know for a long time it was a lot of South American students. And then you see the progression of the influence of word of mouth. And then after a while of the South American students, then we started getting a lot of Caribbean students, people from Bonaire, Dominica, islands that I didn't know existed in the Caribbean. When they always say the Lesser Antilles, when they're talking about hurricane coming through, those islands that are part of that, there's people that have come in training, and with it too, now we're starting to get more people from the area of Saudi Arabia and stuff, and them coming out, and China as well. Which is just fascinating.
Well, I'm
And-
building a list so
Yeah.
that when I retire, I'm going to call on each one that said, "Come visit,"
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just call them out on it. And so Brad and I are just going to go travel the world.
Yeah.
And
Well,
visit.
that's just what I've been thinking, because I start thinking about everybody in demographics. So or geographic. The best friends that I've made being in Ecuador, people that I know in Colombia, people that I know in, this is incredible, India. A little shout out to Arjun and
Carmilla?
Armila. Arjun was one of the best students I had. Everything with that guy was positive, and I would love to go see him in India. Very good. Oh, yeah. Oh, lovely. Oh, lovely.
Everything was
Everything was-
Oh,
positive guy.
everything was
was
lovely.
positive.
Just lovely. India, Turkey, Norway,
Norway. Yep.
incredible,
Yeah.
right? So just all
Switzerland,
places.
Germany. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've had pretty much students
Germany,
from all
course.
over the place. yeah.
Ollie.
But he's the only one
Very
somehow that
good
got to
job.
go to Ecuador. See, we
Yes.
we
Well,
missed
no.
out on that.
Okay, I went to Ecuador for work. We went down and did aviation seminars. Yeah.
My
Yeah.
quotation fingers.
And it worked well because we were the word of mouth for a little bit there to get more of what was an opportunity for the flight school, considering what the government was giving an opportunity for some of its citizens in Ecuador as far as pilot training. And at the end of the day, we still talk about, and there's still articles out there, that there is a pilot shortage.
There is. Well, and that's exactly what you were saying about how, with that you can actually transition right into a job.
Yeah.
Whether you go through Liberty University or not, when you do your training through us, we pretty much usually offer you a job as a flight instructor. Most of our flight instructors are going through their training, becoming flight instructors, sticking around for a year or two, and they have try that again.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yes, they have the opportunity to go on right into the regional airlines if that's what they want to do. Some of them want to go into charter. There's a lot of different things that they can do, but that opportunity to continuously move on is there, and
Yeah.
that's what's so great about what's going on right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now we have some. You want to make the big announcement? Or
I'm
no?
not pregnant.
You are. You wouldn't think so.
You mean this one?
That
That's right
announcement,
here?
yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. The big announcement that he's talking about is for those of you that are familiar with the airport. We are in a building that we have been in for close to 20 years. So the school actually opened in 2000, July of 2000. So we're going on our 20-year anniversary here coming up. We've kind of expanded slowly. We've added on to buildings. Now it looks like, we have just officially had the lease agreed through the city that we are taking over another building at the airport.
It's official.
It is official.
It's
Yes,
official.
Yes, it
We've
is
been-
official.
We've been floating on that for a little
Yeah.
bit. That's the news. It's official.
Yeah, City Council approved it, so we are taking over a little bit larger of a building.
Yeah.
We're going from
Little
about
bit.
we're going from about 4,000 square feet of combined of our other buildings to a 13,000 square foot building,
Nice.
And that's going to allow us to have more classrooms, more offices, kind of spread out a little bit more, and allow us to expand appropriately and not feel like we're crammed together so much anymore.
Now, let me ask you, partner, with taking on that bigger space, how do you guys see yourselves progressing the next couple of years with the expectations of still needing pilots with the shortage and maintaining and actually growing in volume? What do you guys see yourselves doing to maintain what you've been doing so far?
What we've always done and what we've always tried to do is have a slow growth.
Okay.
And that's on purpose. Through a lot of the shortages, if we went and we decided to put a billboard up in another country,
Okay.
we could have a lot of students.
Yeah.
And you really could. And what we've always tried to do is grow slowly, grow in accordance to where it takes care of our instructors and it takes care of our students. So what we've always kind of looked at is what can we grow to have enough instructors to take care of the students? Because you can always have more students.
Right.
But the students don't get taken care of, it's not worth it.
Right.
You get a bad name. Everything we do is word of mouth. It's all
Yeah.
references. It's people referring somebody else to us, so you've got to keep that, you got to keep your name right.
Awesome.
In practical terms, that means we have to buy more planes.
Yes.
Well, I say that because for a long time we've seen ourselves have some growing pains. We've seen ourselves have an idea to ramp up ideas, but then, logistically it's tough to do with the space we're in. You guys got an opportunity here with the space that we'll be moving into that is there, that if it eventually comes to having all the logistics worked out, that you want to do bigger volume but still keep the mom and pop mentality and still have it be that way, it can be done.
Exactly.
That's
Yep.
one of the things I'm looking forward to with the idea and the concept of the new building. It's even like when I say logistically, like even the way it's laid out, it's an organization that's to it, that gives it some flow,
Yeah.
which makes an easier process for anybody who would be coming in quick turn or long term to go from zero to hero all the way commercial, and then be able to take that volume of students and bring in some more and just keep that business growing and have it be growing, which is important here in this community.
Exactly. Yeah, it can make a big difference in this community because with every student that comes in, especially internationally, it doesn't just affect the school; it affects the FBO, the people that actually give us the fuel. These students, they rent houses, they rent apartments, they buy food, they go out and do stuff. So each one of those students affects the community, and so the more that we can ramp that up, the better we're going to do.
We recently did a flowchart analysis of the dollars that go into the community, and it is a large portion that
right?
every student brings in goes out because the flight line guys, the fuel guys,
Yeah.
the repair facility that we have, the maintenance facility, the actual staff that just goes out and washes the planes, every one of those gets a paycheck. And so we have, how many employees do we have now?
32.
Yeah. So a lot of employees at the Ocala Airport, and then a lot of employees at Ocala Aviation.
Yeah.
So it's not just our little niche; it's a whole world that is being affected in our community.
Saying that 32 kind of freaks me out.
Isn't it though?
I'm going on my 15. Well, I've been there 15 years now. In February, it'll be 15. And when I started there, it was Ron, myself, and we had two part-time flight instructors.
Yeah.
That was it.
And
Yeah.
a few planes, and now we
And-
have 20 planes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've got 15 instructors, we have office staff, we have 10 maintenance. It's incredible, and I think it goes to show of just, we've always tried to change with the times. We do what we need to make sure we're taking care of the customers, and hopefully taking care of our staff and keeping everybody happy. So.
And I like that, slow growth to handle in the capacity of which we can.
Exactly.
And that's true. Like I told you, 5 years, I've seen at times it's like, oh, we could grow, we could be so much bigger. But then it's like, well, hold on. With what we have now, we're running into issues that we can see.
Yeah.
But we can deal with those issues easier because of what we have and what we can expect. So then later on, that's an idea that we're still having a goal towards in a way. It's really incredible. I've been put in this seat thanks to the people that I've met through Ocala Aviation. I tell everybody that I'm an instructor there and everything. I'm a little bit more part-time now since I'm talking to you fine people who hopefully listen on 96.3 FM in the mornings, Monday through Friday. But I just want to take the time before the bottom of the hour to say publicly, Brad, that I cannot thank you enough for everything you've helped me do to get to the point where I'm at in my life. And you too, Dan. You guys have always been a moment to say, what do you need? How can I help? And that's awesome. And I thought about you coming on today, and I wanted to take a moment to tell you that.
Well, thank you.
Because in sincerity, everything that we've always talked about in what we can do, not only for the school, but for each other in growing ourselves and our families in the right direction and being good people is incredible. And I've learned a lot from you for that.
Good.
And I can't thank you enough.
Thank you, Brad.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that very, very much. It's been an honor working with you in both places.
Yeah. And this is neat. This is a neat little challenge here that I've been doing the radio. I took the opportunity, Dan, because I was like, when am I getting an opportunity to do this again? This is kind of neat. So, yeah, so thank you guys. But hopefully you'll stay just for a little bit, just to help me fill in some time before the top of the 10 o'clock hour, so we can run it a little bit good from there. But you're listening to AM Ocala Live and Ocala Aviation Flight School, Dan Martone, Brad Broersma, and
Just flow with it.
We'll go over that later.
Just Brad.
Hey, I had a tongue twister
B-Rad.
on that rip and read this morning. I actually left out a few stories because I think people are literally using tongue twisters now
Just to mess with you?
to mess with me, to have doing the news.
I think they do too.
I think that's what it is.
That's what-
And if you listen, we're gonna throw news in there, but it's
If you look at
crazy.
the-
It's hard to talk some days.
Websites are doing that too. A lot of the websites will just put the most controversial thing they can out there. They know it's so far left or so far right that all they're going to do is get comments because
Yeah.
it's just ridiculous some of the things
Oh,
they
yeah.
say.
It's
it's
nuts.
just for reaction. It's fun.
And we do certain stories here that we throw on there. There's one in particular in Ocala that I haven't talked about. I just mentioned it in the news yesterday. It came up again. We're going to keep this light and everything like it. If some people are interested in certain news that is pertinent to Ocala, but it's on a far deep rabbit hole of violence, I'm not going to bring it up.
It doesn't need to be.
It doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
It's a fine Wednesday, baby. We're through hump day. We're
are
almost
through
halfway
hump day.
through the work week.
We're not. It's close.
Yeah. We are broadcasting live from the Paddock Mall. We're going to be taking a break here at the bottom of the hour. When we come back, we'll be talking more of the Ocala Flight School. We appreciate it. You're listening to WOCA Ocala, The Source.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. Senators at President Trump's impeachment trial today begin 2 days of written questions for House Democrats prosecuting the case and the president's defense team, including White House counsel Pat Cipollone.
This should end now, as quickly as possible.
Lead impeachment manager Adam Schiff says former National Security Advisor John Bolton should be called to testify.
The triers of fact and the judges of the law, and the senators are both, should evaluate John Bolton's credibility for themselves.
President Trump signs a new trade deal into law today.
We will replace the NAFTA nightmare, one of the worst trade deals ever in history, with the incredible brand new U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement, the USMCA.
The president at a rally in Wildwood, New Jersey. The signing's at 11 o'clock Eastern. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, Greg, I'm so sorry to hear about your brother's heart attack.
Thanks. He's okay now, but it really got me thinking about my family. You know, could my wife still pay our mortgage if I had a heart problem? Or could my kids still go to college?
Man, that is really scary. Yeah, you should call my life insurance agent at Health IQ. When I got life insurance for my family last year, they saved me 41% versus any other company I looked at.
41%? That's huge.
Yep. Health IQ starts by shopping everyone with the top 30 life insurance carriers to make sure they can get the lowest retail rate. Then they apply their exclusive healthy lifestyle savings, which can save you up to 41%. I literally got $1 million in coverage for my family for just $36 a month.
Just $36 a month?
Yep. You should check it out at healthiq.com/easy.
To save that much money, I'm going to call them right now. What's that link again? healthiq.com/easy?
Yep. healthiq.com/easy.
Florida Cancer Specialist Foundation provides critical living expenses for cancer patients undergoing treatment. You can support the foundation by attending Farm to Table 2020 on February 8th at Castlegate Farm in Ocala. For more information and to make reservations, visit fcsf.org/events. That's fcsf.org/events.
You just have to say it's a happy day. The old ticker hasn't been clicking and your kicker hasn't been kicking, but the hospital you can now leave. To rehab you can now cleave. The folks at Palm Garden you got to meet, you can tell their services cannot be beat. Working with nursing and therapy all day, you're gonna get better the Palm Garden way. Find out what the Palm Garden way means to you by taking a tour. We're located on the corner of Southwest 27th Avenue and 34th Street.
Today will be partly sunny with a passing shower for the afternoon, high 73 to 78. Evening showers, otherwise mostly cloudy for tonight, low 58 to 62. For tomorrow, it will be partly sunny. Thursday's high 73 to 77. Then tomorrow night, clouds will increase with a low 57 to 60. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
Your Ocala Quick Minute News. A series of strong earthquakes is shaking up the Caribbean and South Florida. A powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake struck some 70 miles northwest of Jamaica yesterday afternoon and was felt as far as Miami. Mayor Francis Suarez says everything is okay.
No one has been reported hurt. There have been impacts of, felt in our buildings. No mandatory evacuations have occurred, and there is no tsunami warning.
There are also no reports of damage anywhere in South Florida. The Florida Senate is expected to take up a proposal today that would require parental consent before minors could have abortions. State Representative Anna Escamani of Orlando says that the bill is an attempt by pro-life lawmakers to get an abortion-related case in front of the new conservative majority on the state Supreme Court.
There does seem to be a hidden agenda by our Republican colleagues to test the courts with this type of abortion bill versus what they say the intent is, and that's empowering young people.
Abortion rights supporters rallied in the Capitol yesterday in opposition to the bill. Former NFL star Antonio Brown is no longer under house arrest in South Florida. A Broward County judge yesterday granted Brown's request to remove his ankle monitor. He is facing charges for an alleged assault on a moving company truck driver at his home in Hollywood, Florida. And there's your Ocala Quick Minute News. WOCA The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM.
Career Source Citrus Levy Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source Citrus Levy Marion and learn how they can help you.
Howdy, folks. RL here to tell you about Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen Silver Springs has been serving yummy foods and ice cream made fresh to order for 46 years. Their gift cards are perfect for those you love for any occasion. Our ice cream cakes are awesome. And as far as grilled foods, DQ does it right. From grilled chicken to our famous foot-long chili dogs. So come on down to Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
Attention passengers for Flight 1370. The plane has been delayed at its departure point and will be at least 2 hours late. We apologize for any inconvenience.
Are you serious? It took us over an hour to get here, 2 hours going through security and getting our tickets, and now we have to wait another 2 hours.
Yeah, it's beautiful here, but we're inside this overcrowded airport all day because the plane is stuck in bad weather.
This is the last time we ever do this. When we get back, we're going to Ocala Aviation and getting our pilot's license.
Yeah, we've been talking about that long enough. It's about time we did it. Then we could just fly ourselves and never have to deal with this mess again.
Right. No long lines, no full body groping security, no baggage checks.
Not to mention never losing your luggage. Remind me again why we haven't done that?
Well, we're idiots.
Oh, right.
Attention all passengers for Flight 1370. It looks like the plane is going to be delayed a little bit longer. The airline has lost the pilot's luggage. Isn't it time you got your pilot's license? Call Ocala Aviation today. 352-861-7484. That's 352-861-7484. Hey, you've earned it. Call today.
Attention WOCA listeners.
Do you or someone you know have an outgoing personality with great organizational skills? Well, WOCA is looking for a few good people to join our marketing reps team. You get to meet other great people and business leaders in our community. WOCA Radio offers flexible schedules, great income potential, and some really great fringe benefits, too. So if you enjoy talking to people and getting paid to do it, this may be the right choice for you. Apply within or send your resumes to careers@WOCA.com. Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Your Ocala Quick Minute News. A series of strong earthquakes is shaking up the Caribbean and South Florida. A powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake struck some 70 miles northwest of Jamaica yesterday afternoon and was felt as far as Miami. Mayor Francis Suarez says everything is okay.
No one has been reported hurt. There have been impacts of, felt in our buildings. No mandatory evacuations have occurred, and there is no tsunami warning.
There are also no reports of damage anywhere in South Florida. The Florida Senate is expected to take up a proposal today that would require parental consent before minors could have abortions. State Representative Anna Escamani of Orlando says that the bill is an attempt by pro-life lawmakers to get an abortion-related case in front of the new conservative majority on the state Supreme Court.
There does seem to be a hidden agenda by our Republican colleagues to test the courts with this type of abortion bill versus what they say the intent is, and that's empowering young people.
Abortion rights supporters rallied in the Capitol yesterday in opposition to the bill. Former NFL star Antonio Brown is no longer under house arrest in South Florida. A Broward County judge yesterday granted Brown's request to remove his ankle monitor. He is facing charges for an alleged assault on a moving company truck driver at his home in Hollywood, Florida. And there's your Ocala Quick Minute News. WOCA The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. Good morning. You're listening to AM Ocala Live on WOCA Ocala, The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM.
Thought I was going to do the Vietnam thing for a minute, didn't you?
Yeah. Brad's rocking out to my bumper.
Rocking out. This bumper music is just...
Bumper music's
wow.
On point.
I wasn't going to say anything. Just wow.
Where's the birds? Wait.
Oh, boy. I think we need to get him some coffee or... something.
Yeah, so anybody listening that is at a Starbucks, just go ahead and order a few. Come drop them off.
Come and drop them off.
Just get something. We're good with it.
Broadcasting live from the Paddock Mall. There's Starbucks in here.
Yeah, it's one of our sponsors. Yeah, you need to swing in and grab something.
We've got Ocala Aviation Flight School in the studio. Brad and Dan, welcome, guys. Staying for a little bit here for me. I appreciate that. We were talking everything with the airport and flight school and so on and so forth, but change to a new topic.
Well, before we do that, though, I did want to cover one subject. This is an announcement for all of our veterans. If you are a veteran and you have some veteran benefits, you can actually come and get training at Ocala Aviation and start a full new career. Liberty University is offering financial options for you specifically. So if you ever thought about it, if you even dreamed about it or had an inclination,
or if you never thought about it.
That's true. Come in and get a discovery flight if you're on the fence about it. See if it's something you want to do, but you can actually get a full change of career mode going and have it provided to you via your benefits through the VA. What else you want to say about that?
No, you did awesome. That was beautiful.
Wonderful.
That was just awesome. But yes, even if you didn't realize it was a good career before, it's an awesome career. And if you're not sure if you're dreaming about it, come in, do a discovery flight. You'll figure out if you're dreaming about it or not.
Well, when you're looking at what's the salary for a 5-year captain at American Airlines right now?
Captain? At a major or legacy?
Legacy.
Yeah.
300 plus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A year.
A year.
Over $235,000 a year. Now, it's a little road to get there.
That's not tomorrow.
I said
that's
5 years.
Tomorrow. Well, that's 5 years when you're with the company, and I've already spent 3 years with a regional, so to speak. But that long journey that can get you to that pinnacle, it starts right here at the bottom. It starts right here at General Aviation with a flight school like ours.
Yeah, and anybody that is flying those planes, anybody that works for Delta, American, United, they all started.
Yes, they did.
at the very, very beginning. There's no way around it. So if that is your dream, if that's your dream, there's no skipping. I just want to be a commercial pilot. Yeah, we know. You got to start with the basics. You got to learn how to fly. You got to learn how to land. So,
you're right. Flying part is kind of easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
In retrospect, it's the landing that's got to you got to get it
Well,
down.
as we tell people, taking off is an option. Landing is not.
Requirement.
So, yeah.
It's funny too, because like at the end of the day, I've been telling students this a little bit when it comes to like what we do as commercial pilots and everything. Like at the end of the day, it's kind of like a heart surgeon. So you go to school for as long as you do to become a heart surgeon. You're good at what you do with the psychomotor skills, with your hands, your fingers. How much are you actually of your job as a heart surgeon is actually heart surgery? It's like 35%. It's like all the logistical stuff that goes all around it. It's getting to know the patient. It's getting to know what goes on with their actual issue and all that, like actually doing that. So with a pilot, it's way more than that. It's percentage-wise, so it's more like 60, 70%, but then all that stuff that comes in together with it, it's incredible.
It's a lot. It is a lot to learn, but it's very rewarding, trust me.
Now, I wanted to ask you guys, just to change topics a little bit, because you got out what you needed to with the VA and everything like it, right?
Oh, you want this?
I got to bring up, this is the last weekend for it.
It is.
For the Hogtown Medieval Fair, the Alachua County Fairgrounds in Gainesville, Florida, January 31st, February 2nd, the last weekend or magical weekend, I should say. Now, are you guys into something like that?
Yeah, I'm going to go this weekend. I mean, yeah. The big turkey legs.
Yeah.
The outfits. The atmosphere. Yeah.
You going to dress up?
No, I'm not into that much. I'm not into it like that. I just walk around.
What did Galen say? Is that's what they call cosplay or something like that? Cosplay. There you go.
Well, he goes up to Atlanta for Dragon Con every year, so he sees some super cosplay.
Yeah.
The guy spent thousands and thousands of dollars on an outfit.
Yeah.
I'm just laughing because the first thing that Dan said was food.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, where else can you get those giant turkey legs? You got to go to Universal Studios or Disney, right? And that's $100 to get in. So this is a lot cheaper.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know exactly where they are.
I was gonna throw it out there.
And they're $40 when you go there. So.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that is ridiculous. They're not $40.
They're when you buy them for 2 or 3 people. They are.
Man.
You ever go to Disney by yourself?
No.
No. So do you spend money on yourself?
Oh.
Okay, but you don't say turkey legs are $40.
They are.
I got a bowl of soup. It was $40.
You walk out with you and the wife, and you're going there, and they're $20 a piece.
They are not $20 a piece still.
Are you drinking something?
Somebody from Disney, call in, defend yourself.
Are you drinking something? You're not walking away from that booth without $40, my friend.
We're going to leave the phone lines open here, 622-9622. If you got any questions on aviation, if you got any questions on the flight school, if you got anything that you want to comment or add, anybody at the flight school wants to call and just have some fun, it's an entertaining show.
If you like turkey legs, call in.
622-9622. Give us a call. I'd like to hear from you. I've just had a few callers since I've been doing this. I was expecting to maybe, touch base with a few more, but not so much.
That's a touch and go. So when you're talking and we're talking like we are now, the listeners want to hear what we're saying, and so they tend to not call in. So when you ask them to call in about a specific subject at a specific time, then they tend to call in more.
Yeah.
But the fact that you're talking and you're discussing an option, then they want to listen, so they're not calling you.
Yeah.
Do you really think it's they want to hear us?
I said Adam. I said you. I had nothing to do with us.
Well, speaking as a person that remembers listening to the radio without actually being involved in it, calling sometimes is very scary. Even if you know, like it was a contest and you know the answer, like you get on that phone and it's ringing and your heart just starts going. It's just a weird feeling because all of a sudden other people are going to hear you.
Yeah.
And so, don't worry if you call in to hear, only like 4 or 5 people are going to hear you, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay, 4 or 5,000, 50,000. I don't know. I think the listening area is 180, 90, 200,000.
It's time to take a break, Brad.
What is the listening area? Seriously though.
Actually,
that's a segment for you to tell me.
It's nearly 400,000.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, advertise 400,000. That's awesome.
That's not bad.
Yeah. So I was right.
Pretty good.
Yeah, you were right.
It's an aviation topic. Anything like it, around it, or if it's just potpourri, give us a call, 622-9622. We're going to take a little break, and then we'll come back and bring it to the top of the hour with more conversation. You're listening to WOCA Ocala, The Source.
The Joys of flying from a major hub.
Come on, guys, we gotta go.
Wait, honey, but our flight doesn't leave for 5 hours.
I know, but traffic could be bad. Then there's trying to find a parking spot, then the mile walk to check in, and of course security could take a while.
Skip the circus and fly regional. From parking to boarding and everything in between, it's just better.
Gainesville Regional Airport, now boarding with over 343 destinations in one stop. Non-stop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, Atlanta, Charlotte, and Miami. Fly with us. You'll be glad you did. For more information, visit flygainesville.com.
Friday the 31st at 9:30 a.m., our special guest will be Scotty Plant, owner of 12 Rounds Boxing Gym. Boxing is an excellent way to keep in shape while building your self-reliance. Scotty says there are only two kinds of people in the world, the ones that work out and stay in shape, and the ones that don't. Which one are you? Learn about the gym and get your boxing questions answered. That's this Friday at 9:30. This interview will give you a whole new perspective of keeping in shape.
But our flight doesn't leave for 5 hours.
Traffic could be bad. Trying to find a parking spot, then the mile walk here could take a while.
From parking to boarding and everything in between, it's just better.
Gainesville Regional Airport.
Today will be partly sunny with a passing shower for the afternoon, high 73 to 78. Evening showers, otherwise mostly cloudy for tonight, low 58 to 62. For tomorrow, it will be partly sunny. Thursday's high 73 to 77. Then tomorrow night, clouds will increase with a low 57 to 60. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
And we're back. You're listening to AM Ocala Live on WOCA Ocala. Source. Broadcasting live from the Paddock Mall.
We are indeed.
We are.
It's a great location. It really is. You get to, like you said, get here in the morning, you see the sunrise.
Yeah, this is
great. It really is nice.
This is a window view. Speaking of some weather, we've got a, looks like to be a 40% chance of rain moving into this afternoon. And then tonight we're looking at some rains. Currently it's 48 degrees. No, it's 56 degrees now as we're looking for a high in the, looks to be the mid-upper 60s, again, like we've had the last 2 days.
It's nice weather, it really is. A little chilly in the morning, like you said. When you get up, you were just telling us, pretty early now.
Yeah.
So it's a change of pace for you, and your body will adjust,
nice.
I promise.
It's nice in the morning because there's hardly any
traffic.
humidity and whatnot.
You pull in the parking lot, you're the only one here.
That's my shout out to Dukes and whatnot.
And whatnot. All right, so we won't give them away now, but I'll let you and Dad give some away later. We have more tickets to give away?
I think we do. I think we've got
He's in there now.
At least 2 more tickets to give away for the Hogtown Medieval Fair, the last weekend for it. If you're interested, we'll be giving away 2 tickets, 732-8000. Call the main line there to call in, see if you can get those tickets for the Hogtown Medieval Fair.
What are you doing to give them away? Is it a contest? Is it trivia? Is it?
Oh, I have no idea. It's not up to me.
No.
It's up to Adam. He's running the show.
Well, he just told people, so that's why I'm asking, because I'm confused, and I'm sitting here.
Oh, we're not giving away right now. We're going to give them away later, right?
Oh, okay.
That's
gotcha.
what I thought. Because they're $20 a piece. That's a pretty good deal. You get a $40 giveaway.
That math is good for you.
I just Googled the 10 most common trivia questions. Here's a question for you. What are the top 10 most the Groundhog Day question. The first question in the U.S. is, what is celebrated on February 2nd? And is also a film.
That was an awesome film. Did you see the film?
Independence Day?
Groundhog Day. Yeah, Independence Day.
That was a joke.
For a small
Don't call
country
in.
in South America. Somewhere there probably is an Independence Day on February 2nd.
Yeah, but is that movie about them? No.
That was an awesome movie. I love that movie. Apparently he had trouble with that movie, though.
Because there's only one person in that movie.
Bill Murray?
Bill Murray. There is only one person in that
We
movie.
were talking about Independence Day, and you said he had a problem with that movie.
No, you were talking about Independence Day. We were talking about
We will
Groundhog
not
Day.
go quietly into the night. We'll not give up without
Okay,
a
so
fight.
which movie, who had a problem with it?
Groundhog Day and Bill Murray.
Why do you have a problem with it?
I don't know. Apparently it was a rough production for him. He and the director didn't get along. They had some problems.
Our Independence Day.
Do you want to get arrested again?
I know. Inside
Sorry.
joke there. I had to climb the tower for the radio station a few years ago to help fix an antenna. It's what, Dan, 200 and something feet in the air?
Yep.
And I was a little anxious climbing the top of it, so I was reciting a movie line. It was a monologue that was in a movie. It was The Great Dictator. It was actually the first movie that Charlie Chaplin did, a soundie as they called it, right? It was a silent film.
Those will never work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Who wants to hear anything
it
out
was
of it?
his speech in The Great Dictator that I was trying to memorize. It's just a cool speech. Just something to distract myself as I'm climbing up this tower with very little equipment.
You had proper equipment,
Moshe
sir.
would not be proud.
Proper.
And as I was doing so, somebody had noticed me climbing the tower, and because I was talking kind of loudly as I was reciting the monologue, they thought I was pandering some kind of political views and being a crazy man, and I was going to put something at the top of the tower that was going to be threatening to the community.
They also thought you were going to jump. There was that one, too.
There was that one, too.
The suicidal jumper is what you were.
Yeah. No.
So as Adam's climbing the tower, I'm on the ground, and all of a sudden the squad cars pull up.
Yeah, there's two of them.
Full lit, all coming in, just what's going on.
And the crazy thing is being on the tower, of course I could see them for miles away coming in. I'm like, oh, they got their lights on, or they're going to something. And as they're coming, I'm like, oh, they're going down this road. They've stopped here. Is there something I don't know? Because Dan's on the ground. I'm thinking, is there something I don't know that's going on the ground? You know, and Dan's shooting them, just stay up there, stay up there. But yeah, the officer come out and he's like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And you're like, well, this is private property. And he's like, yeah, why are you on it? And you're like, I own the private property.
It happens to be my private property.
To be my private property. Okay, cool, excellent. Do you know that there's a crazy man climbing to the top of it? Yeah, I hired him. I did. I hired him.
As a matter of fact, I paid him to do that.
And when he gets up there, I imagine he's going to climb down, not jump down. So
it would kind of be a pointless gear operation.
That was
have all the safety harnesses just to not use it.
The day I did that, I think that was St. Patrick's Day. It was like 2016.
Yeah.
I think it was that day. And what was really neat was we had let one of the instructors know that we were doing that.
I think that was...
It was Kevin David, and he come in. They were finishing up a training flight, and they come in. They got, just to be above 500 feet and kind of buzz the tower. So that's plenty enough clearance or anything for anybody who's like, oh, was that too close? No, it was plenty of clearance, but in hindsight of the relationship to being that high up on a tower and then seeing an airplane at an altitude like that, man, that was pretty cool. And he come by and rocked the wings. Like, yeah.
We got pictures of that somewhere. We'll post them up on Facebook.
And do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never seen those.
It's been a long time.
And they're on my old phone too, because somebody was talking about it the other day, and I was like, you know what? They're on my old phone. That I don't even know if I have anymore.
I think they're on my old computer too, so I've got to get the old hard drive out.
Mm-hmm.
That's the bad thing about when computers blow up. You have to transfer everything, grab the old hard drive,
Let me
put
ask
them
you,
in.
when it comes to pictures, do you guys still print pictures out, frame them at all?
Rarely.
Rarely? Brad, do you with the kids, with the family?
Not very often. If we do, we take them somewhere and have them printed a lot nicer than what the printers can do. But
like the drugstore or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's become a special occasion to have something printed. That's why you don't see as many printers.
Well, and I think there's value in that a little bit. I think
is.
as things change and we adapt to certain changes, I think as many pictures as we take, which I think is very unique. You know what I should start doing is I should start taking more pictures of my boy with his mom, because a lot of times she'll just take random pictures of me when we're actually... I love pictures that are taken when you're in the moment. Mm-hmm. We had one of the students... I don't know his Chinese name, and I'm trying to think of his...
Jay?
It was the one with the camera that was taking a lot of pictures around the school and everything.
Fox.
Yeah, and that's how we refer to him. That's why I forget. I'm like, Fox, where'd that come from? It doesn't stick to anything that's applied or relevant, but he would walk around and he would take pictures of us just doing what we do for our day-to-day. And when you step back and look at pictures that we're taking of just what you do, and then you look at it, it's very unique. It's so different than when you actually pose for a picture.
Yeah, no, and actually, what Fox did, it was awesome, is he did that without, I mean, we knew he was taking a picture, we didn't know what it was about.
Yeah.
And when he left, he'd actually, he made a video for us. And it was really neat to see everybody just in their elements. And you didn't realize, you're like, wait a minute, what were we talking about that day? It was really, really cool, because you're absolutely right on that one.
Because we take pictures that we post on Facebook for anybody who passes a check ride. Sometimes we'll get group photos in there depending on who's out there. And those are always the ones you're posing for. And there's a moment where it's like, we're posing for this because such and such passed or yada yada. But that was different because it was the flight school in its element, actually us doing day-to-day stuff, which I think is in a sense, sometimes when we reflect on certain things, it's more unique, that style, than it is like, there's a picture of us standing by the fuselage
So
of the
you're
airplane.
saying we should do a reality show?
No, I don't know about that. But reality pictures that are taken are
Reality
are not
picture
bad.
show.
Reality picture show?
Reality picture show.
It's more of a Rocky Horror Picture Show at our place.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it is.
But one last comment I want to make about what you were saying is how perfect that is, though, because I remember there was one of the pictures of Alexis, one of our old instructors that's with the airlines now, and she had come for a visit, and there's a picture of her, and she was talking to Trey, and she is just laughing.
Yeah.
And you don't get those with candid shots. It's like, it's fake. And you know, she's in a straight-up belly laugh. And now when Trey saw that video, he's like, oh, my gosh, I remember that. And it was just so cool because it catches those moments. You don't often catch a good laugh on a picture.
So as much as, and I've noticed this too, we got just a few minutes here to finish up till the top of the hour, is a lot of things are changing now. Of course, social media and everything, but what I've noticed is things are changing so quick that it's harder for us to understand and catch up. So when it talks about pictures and getting them print out, well, like, well, we used to go to O'Neill's or Sears and get our pictures taken as a family, and then we had to wait about, a month before we could get those professional pictures done. And now we have all these pictures. But then, like you said, it's changed the element that now we can take pictures that are less, or more candid, if you will, just happening. And when you do print out a picture, it means more for that picture.
Yeah, especially when you take the effort to go online and have it uploaded and then delivered.
And that's just a changing of the guard in itself. Yeah. There's a lot of things like that. And I don't know, sometimes I think about this platform you put me on, and it's like maybe it's to allow the generations to more come together, because it is pretty lopsided. The older generation's like, kids these days, which has always been that way.
Always.
But then kids these days are also like, man, there's a disconnect here between what is technology and an older generation. Yeah. And man, I'd love to find a way to bridge that gap. I don't know if that's just through conversation. I feel that I'm one of the last generations that actually, like I mentioned this to your dad before, that we bought our family computer. I didn't have a cell phone until after high school, but I use everything now, and I had to, especially career-wise, job-wise. The jobs I had right out of high school, you had to have something.
Your cell phone now.
Yeah, with technology, it's incredible. We're coming up to the bottom of the hour. I noticed we did have a call. It kind of went out quick. Give us a call back. We're going to come back after the 10 o'clock hour and talk a little bit more and take you to the end. As we come to the top here, we've got Ocala Aviation Flight School in the studio. We're going to be giving away a couple tickets to the Hogtown Medieval Fair, so there's a little bit more to stay tuned for.
I want to give everybody the website, ocalaaviation.com. Pretty simple.
Yeah.
But log on, you get a lot of information. And come see us. Give us a call.
Come see us. Give us a call. Give us a call here in the studio, too. I know we just had a caller, 622-9622. Any questions you have about aviation, any questions you have about me trying to find that bridge to gap the generations in conversation. I feel like I do that at the other job where I bartend. Yeah. Because there's always that moment that I can say when people are opinionated, everybody's got an opinion, but at the same time, you can just kind of relax and say, that opinion's well spoken. Now let me give you another opinion, so there's more sides to the story.
You mean just arguments?
I don't know. I'm rambling because there's only about 40 seconds.
I understand that, yeah.
But coming to the bottom of the hour, we'll be back after this. You're listening to WOCA Ocala, The Source.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. A plane with 201 Americans evacuated from Wuhan, China is on its way to a military base in California after refueling in Alaska. Everybody's been screened for a new virus and passed.
The plane was originally supposed to land at Ontario Airport right outside LA. China now reporting more than 6,000 coronavirus cases and 132 deaths. There are currently 5 confirmed coronavirus cases in 4 states here in the U.S.
Fox's Jackie Ibanez. Today starts 2 days of written questions from senators at President Trump's impeachment trial. And the Palestinian president, Mahmoud Abbas, says a peace plan proposed by the Trump administration is nonsense. White House advisor Jared Kushner tells Fox,
I think what we saw yesterday was Israel take a giant step towards peace, and it was an accomplishment that only President Trump could have delivered on.
The plan would create a separate but disjointed Palestinian state and give Israel control over more land than in previous proposals. America's listening to Fox News.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare contracts, and in the process started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is, this never ends. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. I guarantee if we can't cancel your timeshare contract, you'll pay nothing.
Were you lied to when buying a timeshare and want out? Get the facts about timeshare cancellation. Call Wesley now for your free information kit. 800-990-1551. 800-990-1551. 800-990-1551.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Your Ocala Quick Minute News. A series of strong earthquakes is shaking up the Caribbean and South Florida. A powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake struck some 70 miles northwest of Jamaica yesterday afternoon and was felt as far as Miami. Mayor Francis Suarez says everything is okay.
No one has been reported hurt. There have been impacts of, felt in our buildings. No mandatory evacuations have occurred, and there is no tsunami warning.
There are also no reports of damage anywhere in South Florida. The Florida Senate is expected to take up a proposal today that would require parental consent before minors could have abortions. State Representative Anna Escamani of Orlando says that the bill is an attempt by pro-life lawmakers to get an abortion-related case in front of the new conservative majority on the state Supreme Court.
There does seem to be a hidden agenda by our Republican colleagues to test the courts with this type of abortion bill versus what they say the intent is, and that's empowering young people.
Abortion rights supporters rallied in the Capitol yesterday in opposition to the bill. Former NFL star Antonio Brown is no longer under house arrest in South Florida. A Broward County judge yesterday granted Brown's request to remove his ankle monitor. He is facing charges for an alleged assault on a moving company truck driver at his home in Hollywood, Florida. And there's your Ocala Quick Minute News. WOCA The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM.
Today will be partly sunny with a passing shower for the afternoon, high 73 to 78. Evening showers, otherwise mostly cloudy for tonight, low 58 to 62. For tomorrow, it will be partly sunny. Thursday's high 73 to 77. Then tomorrow night, clouds will increase with a low 57 to 60. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
Keep up with what's going on in the downtown area with Ocala Downtown Newspaper. Delivering thousands of newspapers to businesses in the downtown area, Ocala Downtown is there to keep you informed. They even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about it. It's simple. For more info, just call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223, and pick up your copy of the Downtown Ocala newspaper today.
And now read Ocala Downtown Newspaper online.
Hey, we're back. You're listening to AM Ocala Live on WOCA Ocala, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. And we were...
We were? That's hard. That's a hard habit to break in radio.
It is.
The uhs and the ums.
Thinking through the radio, as your dad puts it.
What?
Thinking.
Those
Like
two
you're-
words don't go together.
You're thinking
you
out
lost
loud.
me. Thinking.
Dad and thinking. He goes, don't report
Thinking.
Don't say to the radio. Anyway, if you're just joining us, we're broadcasting live from the Paddock Mall. Got Ocala Aviation Flight School in the studio here as we're going to finish up this 10 o'clock hour. We were just talking about, before the break, kind of just some things that have changed a little bit in society in itself. We were just talking about pictures. And what's interesting is now where you save pictures. You used to have like photo albums, and for a long time there, scrapbooking like took off.
Yep.
And then that
scrapbooking's still there, but it's
there?
different. Yeah, you don't put as many pictures in it. You put a few pictures, but a lot of details, a scrap of clothing.
It's detail-oriented to the event that was taking place. Yeah.
But I use my photos a lot for work, any type of work. For example, Brad the other day took a picture of the wires that were in the room. We're going through a phase where we have to rewire everything. So you can't memorize wires. You're not drawing. You just snap a shot. Boom.
Yes.
You refer to that. Oh, I can rewire this
Like
now the
you're
way it
a
was.
secret agent with a gadget. You're going to use that later. It's a utility thing.
It is
More
a
so
utility
pictures
thing.
are now.
Anything with the cars, automotive. I'm a big auto guy. I repair things all the time, so I need to take a picture of what it was, so that when I screw it up, I can go back to its original function.
Yeah.
Or close to it anyway.
Yeah, extra bolts, no big deal.
Yeah, Doc Hollywood. Do you remember that movie?
Doc Holliday or Doc Hollywood?
Doc Hollywood. You guys talked about that, right? Doc Hollywood was filmed here in Micanopy.
Was it?
We're not here. We're Ocala.
We did a little motorcycle. It's just north of us. Wise guy. We did a little motorcycle trip up there a couple of weeks ago, and they had the movie and all the stuff and where it was filmed. It's a pretty neat walkthrough. But in that sense, they took his car apart. He had a car wreck, and they gave him his car back. Here, your car's all fixed, and here's your extra bag of nuts and bolts.
Oh, is that right? We don't know where these go.
Yeah, we have no idea.
You rode? You get what bike you riding?
Yeah, I've got it's a sport tour. It's a touring bike, a BMW.
You got it running?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I finally got that one running and working and everything. Yeah,
3 years.
Yeah.
4 years.
Yeah, I'd say one more. I would have graduated high school.
Yeah. It turns out
it's a junior this year. Doesn't
I didn't tell you. It's a quick story, but they gave me a part that was from another country, Germany, and it was wired exactly backwards from the standard part that I had here in my version of the bike. So
Is that right?
I put it in. It was wired perfectly backwards, and it wouldn't run. And I couldn't figure it out until I had to go back and just take everything apart again.
Oh, man.
And these motorcycles have a ton of plastic on them, so taking them apart isn't like the Harley. Where you
because there's a lot of fairings, so it's easier to get to.
3 hours, and you've got to one part.
Man.
So it's like, oh, great.
Now, you with motorcycles, Brad, I've been wanting to talk to you about this and get an update, see if you guys have been doing this. But the longboarding. Mm-hmm. Have you guys been doing that lately?
Not as
Josh was more into that for a while there.
Yeah, not as much as I would like. We went out a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Definitely not as much. School has taken over. Getting ready for college is taking over.
Yeah.
Not as much free time.
To go back on our early segment, the adulting has taken over.
Yeah, the adulting
So
has
lesson
taken over,
one in that class at Berkeley, lesson one of adulting, if you have responsibilities, they become your priority.
Yeah.
Not fun or games.
Yeah,
you gotta make time for that.
Yeah, and it's something that we did, and it was our bonding time, and we could do all that, and we still make sure we spend time together. It's just it's not as easy to get out and go and do all that right now. So
yeah,
thank you for tearing my heart open on that one. I appreciate that.
Well, it's nap time. That's what gets in the way.
Yeah, because I'm ancient now.
Yeah, we're old people, so nap time.
We are old.
Hey, no, trust me, I know what that's like now. My son's got the Little Tykes basketball hoop, and he'll go from soccer rocker, we'll kick around a soccer ball, the little one that he's got, to the basketball, the Little Tykes, to what's the other one, this little baseball bat that he has, and he just wants to do a trifecta of sports. But it's that thing where it's like after we play for like 20 minutes on one, it's like, man, I just got to, give me a minute, bub. I just got to sit down for a minute, and then we got to figure out dinner, and then we got to get you a bath, then we got to get you to bed, and then we got to put you to bed, and then after you put you to bed, I'm going to be falling asleep at any moment now, and then I got to get ready for what's for work tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's adulting.
The weirdest thing is, you will see it soon, is all of a sudden there's going to be a point where, like right now, where's your son? Like you're sitting there, it's where is he?
Yeah.
Where is he?
Yeah.
And it gets to a point where all of a sudden you realize that you're not having to do that anymore.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the strangest thing when, your kid goes in the other room and you don't have to follow him and, what are they getting into?
Oh, yeah. That's interesting.
It's a very intense...
I bet you that's a nice change in the dynamic.
It is.
Because there's a moment where you're like, actually, hey.
Yeah, you actually don't have to get up when they walk out of the room anymore. You actually can sit. Now, of course, then times change, and then they get older, and then
You're still getting the cookies, though, so you still have to wonder what they're doing.
Well, that never changes, yeah.
That's true.
But it's just one of those, it's the different changes. That's all. Just had to talk about cookies. Again, Dan, food.
Dan,
Are we
food.
getting a concept
Food
here?
is love.
Welcome back to Delicious Dish. What is your favorite cookie?
Probably white chocolate macadamia.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Brad, what about you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
No, I don't.
I like a good sugar cookie, though. Those nice.
Snickerdoodle.
Snickerdoodles are great. Yeah, I love snickerdoodles. Not so much a fan of just the basic chocolate chip. It's just...
my daughter recently made a awesome dark chocolate chip cookie. It was actually, it's a vegan one, so instead of eggs, she uses applesauce.
Really?
And seriously, it is probably one of the best cookies I've ever had.
Incredible.
It is so
and a dark
good.
chocolate
And the dark chocolate.
Do you remember that, Adam? You remember tasting that one?
Which one?
The one he brought into work to let us share with us?
No,
me neither.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no.
That's my point.
No, I didn't. I didn't share it with you.
Didn't share with anybody. How rude.
You know what Dan's favorite cookie is?
What's that?
The one that's right in front of him.
The one that's in front of the one. The one that's accessible to eat at this moment.
Diet.
This is one thing that took me years to work out with Dan. As he started working at the flight school more, and for Dan, it's 12:01. we're late for lunch. Dan, it's okay. No, I have to go to lunch. It is 12:02. I am going to die now. Now, over time, as he's realized, you cannot walk out of the flight school just because it says 12 o'clock. He's actually made it to like 12:15, 12:18 sometimes before he starts to cry.
Let's not go crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it is crazy because I've seen you guys walk out for lunch at about 1:18.
Yeah.
He's got his head down, and he's walking fast. He's the first one to get in the truck. Ron's just kind of falling behind. All right, it's lunchtime.
Now I just pull the truck up to the front, beep the horn.
Yeah.
You know, otherwise, they're just meandering, blah, 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 talkie. Nope, food.
It took him a long time, Dan, to get past that. It has to be 12 o'clock phase. Yeah. Of course, I've noticed since we've started doing lunch later, he gets in later in the morning. I think because he has to eat. Like, he's walking out the door eating because he knows we're going to have a late lunch.
You're listening to AM Ocala Live on WOCA Ocala. We just got a potpourri of directions and conversations. That's what happens. We see a puppy, we see a squirrel, we see that, we just talk about it.
Oh, did you get my text earlier about
puppies and squirrels?
Puppies and squirrels.
Who's coming to the Riley Center? Did you guys already discuss that?
The Riley Center, no.
So, I forgot his name. How embarrassing.
Lyle Lovett.
Lyle, yes, Lyle Lovett.
Of course.
The Riley Center.
Julie Roberts for a while.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
Downtown O'Reilly Center, the newest building there. Matt Wardell and his symphony, the Ocala Symphony Orchestra, performs there a lot, and we're getting lots and lots of more bigger names.
Lots of more bigger names.
Lots of more bigger names.
I love it. That's a big name there. Now the show is sold out, but those who are maybe listening or maybe going to the show, it's call in and talk about that if you'd like. 622.
I wonder if you can stand outside and get those tickets. Somebody doesn't show up. Yeah, are there scalpers here? This,
scalpers.
In
Yeah.
Ocala, or maybe somebody doesn't show up. Are those seats open? Are they still there? Can I go ahead and get in?
Yeah.
I don't think you can do that. No.
No, you can't do that.
No. But do they have scalpers in Ocala?
Well, it depends on the
And
venue.
is that the level? Have we made it? We've made it. We've got scalpers.
Yeah, exactly. Then Ocala stepped up, and we're big town now.
All right, we're big time now. You want to come to Ocala? You better be ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Lyle Lovett, I was impressed by that, actually.
Yeah.
And when Jimmy Buffett gets here, then we've made it.
Is that what it takes to make it as Jimmy Buffett?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Have you ever been to a Jimmy Buffett concert?
No.
Adam?
The Parrot Heads? No, I haven't. I heard it's a great time, though.
They are a blast. He does a lot of fun stuff. It's really an interactive concert. I've been to one, and I haven't actually trying every year to get back because every year he says it's my last.
Yeah.
And
well, he's getting up there in age, and when you think about the amount of what goes into touring and all that, that's a lot. Even though he is a pilot and everything, and he has pilots too for flying where he does. That's a lot. But man, that guy's got a life. Oh, that's a great life.
He is a great businessman.
He's earned it, though. He's worked hard. He's a good businessman and everything like it. That's what I've learned as I've grown up. I always asked myself when I was growing up, like, hey, when everybody assumes that you're making money, you got to assume, where's that money coming? Even if you're a doctor, if like I say, oh, I'm a doctor now, I'm thinking doctors make quite a bit of money. They put a lot of schooling in, a lot of education, a lot of work, time, and I'm thinking, wait, who's paying the doctor? Where does that come from? Or like when you're a business owner, well, you're paying yourself in a way. So depending on how much you pay yourself, you got to substantiate whether or not that's good for the company, and depending on how much you're going to make.
Exactly.
So when you see somebody now who's successful, and you're like, oh, I want that lifestyle. Then you step back and you go, man, they've earned it, especially with this age like we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
The guy's worked his butt off.
Yeah, and now there's Margaritaville villages, so places to live. There's hotels.
Yeah.
There's one in Destin now. Kissimmee has opened up a new Margaritaville village, kind of like the villages here. He's taken that idea and taken it one step further.
They opened one up in Pensacola when I was there, and it's great.
Yeah.
Stayed there a couple of times. Beautiful.
I just wonder if it's like the villages where you get the free margaritas flowing now through the...
Instead of free golf,
yeah,
free
instead of free
margaritas.
beer. Well, they used to have free beer out of the water fountains in the villages here.
In the fountains?
In the fountains, yes.
So that's disgusting.
Yeah, it was cold beer.
In the fountain? Are you sure?
Oh,
I
I'm
need
sure.
somebody calling, because this just sounds weird.
Nope, they had it in the beginning, and then it was nixed because the kids were getting to it. So
free beer in the fountains?
Yep,
that's just
free beer fountains.
But not a fountain with beer. It was a beer fountain. Because I'm thinking like in the town square, there's a fountain, and you just like dip your
like a
mug
water
in there.
fountain?
Yeah.
No, you're talking about like a drinking fountain that has beer.
Yes.
Thank you. That makes more sense.
Oh yeah, your other way is gross.
Exactly. I'm thinking a fountain.
That's not a fountain. That's a
health
trough.
code violation.
I'm thinking of a beer trough.
Yeah.
I don't want a
Okay.
beer trough.
Makes more sense now. Sorry. There goes that puppy
You can bring
again.
a Barrett head to beer, but you can't make him drink. Beer fountain machine.
Oh, he's fact checking on the Oogle. Tick tock, tick tock.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. They're just
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody needs to call in and tell us that Dan is
it's full of
because
622-9622. Call in if you got something you want to talk about or a conversation we want to bring up. I'm more than happy to. You're listening to AM Ocala Live on WOCA Ocala. We've talked about all sorts of things here today. All sorts of kind of good stuff.
How's the weather?
Well, the weather, it's starting to cloud up a little bit. They were calling for mostly cloudy skies as we move into the afternoon with the possibility of a 40% chance of showers with maybe a thunderstorm. Now they're talking about thunderstorms within tonight with almost like a guaranteed 90% chance into the late time tonight, with that increased cloudiness actually moving its way out tomorrow, where we'll have more of kind of the temperatures we have today, get up to close to 70 tomorrow with a low in the 40s.
On a long-term outlook, do you think there's going to be a mild winter?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. We're in the last week of January now.
Well, it's been kind of crazy. It's been a lot warmer. We've had a lot of heat waves, and then we've had real cold spurts, and then another heat wave. So
yeah, I don't know.
I was just very impressed with how he announced that weather. I mean,
it was good.
He was not reading that. That was just straight up from. It was very professional sounding, I must say. Yeah, it sounded like he actually knew what you were talking about.
Your Ocala weather station, is it? It's all pretty good.
It sounded like he knew what he was talking about.
That works for me.
That's impressive.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and we'll come back in just a few moments and continue our conversation on whatever.
On whatever. Potpourri.
Squirrels.
Squirrels.
Dogs.
Potpourri. Potpourri. WOCA Ocala AM Live.
The joys of flying from a major hub.
Come on, guys, we gotta go.
Wait, honey, but our flight doesn't leave for 5 hours.
I know, but traffic could be bad. Then there's trying to find a parking spot, then the mile walk to check in, and of course security could take a while.
Skip the circus and fly regional. From parking to boarding and everything in between, it's just better.
Gainesville Regional Airport, now boarding with over 343 destinations in one stop. Non-stop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, Atlanta, Charlotte, and Miami. Fly with us. You'll be glad you did. For more information, visit flygainesville.com.
Florida Cancer Specialist Foundation provides critical living expenses for cancer patients undergoing treatment. You can support the foundation by attending Farm to Table 2020 on February 8th at Castlegate Farm in Ocala. For more information and to make reservations, visit fcsf.org/events. That's fcsf.org/events.
Jean Powell, Past Chamoy. Jean and Debbie thank you for another successful year and to wish you peace, love, and joy in 2020. Now is the perfect time to fence row spray for weed control, rototilling for your winter gardens, and stump grinding. We are family owned and operated, licensed and insured, and farm ready. Powell Jean, GENE at yahoo.com. 352-629-2440. Jean Powell, Past Chamoy. 352-629-2440. Jean is a proud United States veteran.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
Today will be partly sunny with a passing shower for the afternoon, high 73 to 78. Evening showers, otherwise mostly cloudy for tonight, low 58 to 62. For tomorrow, it will be partly sunny. Thursday's high 73 to 77. Then tomorrow night, clouds will increase with a low 57 to 60. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
And you're listening to WOCA AM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 The Source. Bada boom.
Bada bing.
Bada who?
Yep. Yeah, just joining us, we're listening, or we're talking. Hopefully you're listening. We got Ocala Aviation Flight School in here.
It's okay.
And we were talking about
all right,
the last weekend for Hogtown Medieval Fair.
Woohoo!
Yep. January 31st, February 2nd.
If you would like to go. then you should go.
That's a good point there. I like that one, yeah.
So it's happening this weekend? Oh, okay. I just received this. This burning news comes in right now. If you would like to win these tickets, call right now. 732-8000. Tish will answer your call. First caller gets 2 tickets. $40 value. Right now. No quiz necessary. We're so easy here. No answering any questions.
Bada boom.
But if you can tell her when Ocala Aviation was first opened, that would make Brad feel better.
Because they're arguing with me on what I said, and so
The lines are lighting up. I see it now.
Yeah.
They're calling in.
Bada boom.
Do we have a winner? Okay, we'll get confirmation of the winner in just a minute.
Okay, so you're going to call in for free tickets. Okay, call in and talk to us.
Yeah, call in 622-9622. We were talking about a plethora. I've been using a lot of P's now. I've been on the air.
Well, especially if anybody has any questions about the airport while we're here.
That's right. Now's a good time to call in and ask, and anything that's going on at the airport, we can hopefully answer from what we've been involved with here in the last couple of years. With what's been going on. What was?
Wow, you just went nowhere with that one. That was great.
That was awesome right there.
You do have those moments. Everybody does, where you just look out and go, "What was I doing?"
Okay. Okay. Now everybody teases it's about being old or whatever and whatnot, but I know I'm not the only one that has that moment where, like, I'm sitting at my desk and it's like, oh, I've got to tell this person something. So I get up and I go into their office and I just stand in their doorway and they're like, what? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I completely forgot.
He's the only one.
No, that is not true.
Now, what do they say to that? Oh, if it's important, you'll remember.
Yeah.
And usually it's important, and that's why you forgot, because
Otherwise,
you're like, I got to do this now, and it just came.
Yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got out of my chair. Why would I get out of my chair if it wasn't important?
But you will remember the very moment they are unavailable.
Yes.
Absolutely.
The very second they're out of reach, out of touch, then you'll remember.
Now, what
That's
they
Murphy's
say,
Law.
though, is we were actually watching something, and they say that when you go through a doorway, it's like your brain automatically resets. As weird as this is, they've done all these studies, and your brain kind of resets because you're going into a new area. And so what they say is, if you want to remember something as you're walking through the doorway, you continually say it to yourself as you're walking through your doorway.
Oh, so that way it stays pertinent in the front of your mind, even though.
Yep.
You know, that's. I watched this little video yesterday. It was this girl did a real quick thing of instances where you can apply some small psychological. Like she was in a psych class, and certain things that the professor was teaching, certain themes and theories, she was trying to find ways to apply it, and she did. So she made like a quick little video of like tips on what to do when you're around people, the little bit of psychology of things. That's kind of how that works, because our minds, they have a mind of their own. It's its own mind. So when you walk through the doorway, it's like you're doing something new. But it's interesting when you're in a conversation with people, they say that the way you can deter certain confrontational items and stuff like that, a good psychological way is if you're a restaurant server or a wait staff in a restaurant and you're getting a customer that's a little bit like upset or angry, and they're starting to really belittle you, instead of getting angry or anything, just point out a flaw that they have on their face, even though they might not have one, or something in their teeth. They might not have it, but that'll shut them down real quick, because it's that moment that their brain captures a vulnerable moment. Because what they're doing by trying to control you or say, like, hey, you know, my food wasn't here. This service is awful. And what about you? We've asked for drinks. I'm sorry, sir, you got something in your teeth. Give me a moment here. It'll really calm the situation. There's certain things like that.
Try that.
Psychologically, that your mind has this power. They say that if for the ladies out there, if you have maybe a crush or a guy you're interested in, but you're out with a group of friends, you're not sure if he's into you or not, they say that when somebody tells a joke and it's worth laughing, most people who they feel most attracted to, when they're laughing, will look in the general direction. The mind will look in the general direction of that person that they're most in that moment affectionate with, because they want to see their reaction to what the joke was. So if you have a crush on that guy and somebody tells a joke, see if he looks at you, or it's obvious you're probably looking at him, so he might understand that you have the attraction to him, or just little things like that.
Interesting. I like that.
Let me guess,
one.
somebody left a Cosmopolitan at the doctor's office, and that's where you saw that, right?
Cosmopolitan, the drink?
No, not the drink.
The magazine?
Yeah, the magazine.
Shoot, yeah, why not? Yeah. See, that's what I try to do, Dan. Now as your morning host, I try to have the, like I said, plethora of concepts and conversations, because as your dad said, me doing this solo and talking completely to that mannequin in the studio while listeners are trying to understand why I'm talking to myself, I got to be well-rounded. So if Cosmopolitan's got an article in there, if Cosmo's got an article, then by golly, you got it.
Cosmo, he even shortened it for us. Yeah, Cosmo.
Absolutely.
On that note,
yes,
I have no idea.
Got nothing. Yeah.
No, I had a point like a long time ago, but his segment was so good.
Where did you go with your point?
Well, he had the point, and then you interrupted with something like you always do. But it was the idea that like the way our minds react to certain situations. Now I understand that. I bet you logically that if you walk through a doorway, you're already subconsciously worrying about the surroundings that you're now walking into because that doorway is something that's signaling to your brain, hey, this is a different environment.
Exactly.
React to it.
Well, and I noticed that what I tend to do is if I have something I have to do, I will walk into my office and I do it quickly. And people think I'm like trying to ignore them, and I am. But not to be rude, it's like, okay, I've got to do this one thing, because when I walk into my office, people think it's free reign to talk to me, to ask me questions, to ask me to do something. And if I have to go do something, if I walk fast and don't look at them, then they don't actually ask me anything.
See, there's something to that. And one of the things you've always heard me say this about, like the energy of the flight school. There are so many different people doing so many different things at so much different times. And what happens too is if we need to get something done, you know, in most general sense of the word, like the etiquette of conversation is to wait till the other person's done speaking, and then you'll interject with something that you want to comment on. But you guys know that within the flight school, there's a lot of shouting that goes on. Just because it's a point that you want to remember that you got to get out. Hey, Dan? Yeah. Did you remember that? Yeah.
I've seen most of it.
And what happens is you're in the middle of a conversation. So what happens is, and I get what you're saying, there's like this constant erratic flow of energy that goes around that it's hard to stay consistent. And also, too, if you got a lot going on and you're distracted by something that you're trying to get done, all of a sudden something like another frequency comes in from somewhere else that somebody's just there to say hi or has got a question for you because they're only seeing you now because it's Wednesday. They meant to say it to you last Friday, but they didn't see you Monday or Tuesday.
And this has to be ordered now, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to order this. I forgot.
It's interesting.
We got to order this part now.
It's just interesting how the mind works. When I told my dad I was going to be doing this, he says, well, what's the format or whatever have you? And I said, that's kind of what we'll be working on. We're going to transition certain things. And he goes, maybe you could do like a Fraser Crane thing, have people call in and ask for advice psychologically.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I don't know. I like to think that you have to be a little bit certified for that. So overall,
I would think that, if people were calling in for advice, you should kind of know information on that one.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But then again, sometimes I wonder about other radio hosts.
Yeah, we do too.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic.
We're coming to the bottom of the hour. And as we were talking to Ocala Aviation Flight School, good friends, Brad and Dan. We've got a half hour when we come back just to wrap up the day as we go to 11. Yesterday we went a little bit later, but we're just going to go to 11 today. You're listening to WOCA Ocala, The Source.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. A plane with 201 Americans evacuated from Wuhan, China is on its way to a military base in California after refueling in Alaska. Everybody's been screened for a new virus and passed.
The plane was originally supposed to land at Ontario Airport right outside LA. China now reporting more than 6,000 coronavirus cases and 132 deaths. There are currently 5 confirmed coronavirus cases in 4 states here in the U.S.
Fox's Jackie Ibanez. Today starts 2 days of written questions from senators at President Trump's impeachment trial. And the Palestinian president, Mahmoud Abbas, says a peace plan proposed by the Trump administration is nonsense. White House advisor Jared Kushner tells Fox,
I think what we saw yesterday was Israel take a giant step towards peace, and it was an accomplishment that only President Trump could have delivered on.
The plan would create a separate but disjointed Palestinian state and give Israel control over more land than in previous proposals. America's listening to Fox News.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare contracts, and in the process started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is, this never ends. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. I guarantee if we can't cancel your timeshare contract, you'll pay nothing.
Were you lied to when buying a timeshare and want out? Get the facts about timeshare cancellation. Call Wesley now for your free information kit. 800-990-1551. 800-990-1551. 800-990-1551.
Have you been there yet? If not, please accept this invitation to the best of the best Camellia Show Spectacular going on at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala. Just a walk, a short stroll through this magnificent garden is all you need to experience thousands of camellias in bursting bloom. Of course, you can have your own budded and blooming Bob Wine's heirloom camellia for as little as $19.99, and larger sizes are available. Other Camellia Show bargain buys gorgeous blooming Calancho, just $4.99. Laura Petalum, 6 for just $35.99. Peach and nectarine fruit trees, 2 for $99.99. Citrus trees, buy one, get one at half price. Don't miss it now at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens on the uncrowded southeast side of Ocala. Daily till 4, Saturdays till 3 in the same blooming place since 1952.
You just have to say it's a happy day. The old ticker hasn't been clicking and your kicker hasn't been kicking, but the hospital you can now leave. To rehab you can now cleave. The folks at Palm Garden you got to meet. You can tell their services cannot be beat. Working with nursing and therapy all day, you're gonna get better the Palm Garden way. Find out what the Palm Garden way means to you by taking a tour. We're located on the corner of Southwest 27th Avenue and 34th Street.
Your Ocala Quick Minute News. A series of strong earthquakes is shaking up the Caribbean and South Florida. A powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake struck some 70 miles northwest of Jamaica yesterday afternoon and was felt as far as Miami. Mayor Francis Suarez says everything is okay.
No one has been reported hurt. There have been impacts of, felt in our buildings. No mandatory evacuations have occurred, and there is no tsunami warning.
There are also no reports of damage anywhere in South Florida. The Florida Senate is expected to take up a proposal today that would require parental consent before minors could have abortions. State Representative Anna Escamani of Orlando says that the bill is an attempt by pro-life lawmakers to get an abortion-related case in front of the new conservative majority on the state Supreme Court.
There does seem to be a hidden agenda by our Republican colleagues to test the courts with this type of abortion bill versus what they say the intent is, and that's empowering young people.
Abortion rights supporters rallied in the Capitol yesterday in opposition to the bill. Former NFL star Antonio Brown is no longer under house arrest in South Florida. A Broward County judge yesterday granted Brown's request to remove his ankle monitor. He is facing charges for an alleged assault on a moving company truck driver at his home in Hollywood, Florida. And there's your Ocala Quick Minute News. WOCA The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM.
Career Source Citrus Levy Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source Citrus Levy Marion and learn how they can help you.
Howdy, folks. RL here to tell you about Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen Silver Springs has been serving yummy foods and ice cream made fresh to order for 46 years. Their gift cards are perfect for those you love for any occasion. Our ice cream cakes are awesome. And as far as grilled foods, DQ does it right. From grilled chicken to our famous foot-long chili dogs. So come on down to Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
Attention passengers for Flight 1370. The plane has been delayed at its departure point and will be at least 2 hours late. We apologize for any inconvenience.
Are you serious? It took us over an hour to get here, 2 hours going through security and getting our tickets, and now we have to wait another 2 hours.
Yeah, it's beautiful here, but we're inside this overcrowded airport all day because the plane is stuck in bad weather.
This is the last time we ever do this. When we get back, we're going to Ocala Aviation and getting our pilot's license.
Yeah, we've been talking about that long enough. It's about time we did it. Then we could just fly ourselves and never have to deal with this mess again.
Right. No long lines, no full body groping security, no baggage checks.
Not to mention never losing your luggage. Remind me again why we haven't done that?
Well, we're idiots.
Oh, right.
Attention all passengers for Flight 1370. It looks like the plane is going to be delayed a little bit longer. The airline has lost the pilot's luggage. Isn't it time you got your pilot's license? Call Ocala Aviation today. 352-861-7484. That's 352-861-7484. Hey, you've earned it. Call today. Attention WOCA listeners. Do you or someone you know have an outgoing personality with great organizational skills? Well, WOCA is looking for a few good people to join our marketing reps team. You get to meet other great people and business leaders in our community. WOCA Radio offers flexible schedules, great income potential, and some really great fringe benefits, too. So if you enjoy talking to people and getting paid to do it, this may be the right choice for you. Apply within or send your resumes to careers@WOCA.com. Keep up with what's going on in the downtown area with Ocala Downtown Newspaper. Delivering thousands of newspapers to businesses in the downtown area, Ocala Downtown is there to keep you informed. They even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about it. It's simple. For more info, just call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223, and pick up your copy of the Downtown Ocala newspaper today.
And now read Ocala Downtown Newspaper online. Ocala Business Leaders Incorporated is a group of independent local firms providing a wide range of quality goods and services. Each firm strives to maintain the highest level of professional integrity and 100% customer satisfaction. When you're looking for goods and services, call a member of the Ocala Business Leaders, and we are confident you will be pleased with the results. If you are interested in becoming a member of the Ocala Business Leaders, join us at the Ocala Elks Lodge, 25th Avenue in Ocala, any Wednesday at 7 a.m. and enjoy a breakfast on us. For more information, check OcalaBusinessLeaders.com.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Yeah, welcome back. You were listening to AM Ocala Live on WOCA Ocala, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, broadcasting live from the Paddock Mall on this beautiful Wednesday. It's clouded up a little bit with the potential for 40% chance of rain showers this afternoon. Highs reaching upper 60s into the 70s, and then maybe a good possibility for a 90% chance of rain tonight. But we could use the rain, that's for sure, as we are in our drier season. And I know the last time we had some rain come through, we didn't really get a whole lot. Carol Ann and I were talking yesterday about having it rain even in the evening is a good thing, and just rain in general for all of our trees, our grass, our plants. We had in the studio today, we had Ocala Aviation Flight School. They were joining us talking about the airport, talking about what's going on with the flight school in general, and their announcement of moving into the what was the old sheriff's building there on 60th, now becoming the flight school. We're hoping to move in there within the next few months to make it easier and more accessible to what we do with the flight training and all that stuff. And they'll be moving just down the way from where we're at with the hangar, which will be good. But if you were listening today, thank you very much. We've just got a little bit, about 20 minutes before the top of the hour as we go from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. now. And we're pretty much halfway through my first week and a half, if you will, of being your radio host. And so far it's been pretty good. I enjoy it. And I was telling everybody also that as we have days with a little bit less on the docket for people who we'll have in the studio, we'll be doing a little bit more certain segments and everything that you can have to look forward to. There's just so much that's transitioning right now, not only in Ocala, like we've talked about with the community, with the flight school, with the airport, with the downtown, with the equestrian center, with all that stuff, this is even a transition here too at the source, just trying to do what we can to give you live radio in the morning, something to tune into and listen that's informative and entertaining. And at the same time, I hope that we can grow together to basically do that. That'd be our goal. And as we grow together, figure out some things we can talk about, certain things you guys like to talk about more. I'm going to be trying to bring in a little bit more of sports. I've talked a little bit with Galen, like we did today, talking about the Super Bowl that's coming up through the weekend, which I'm interested in. I've always been excited about the Super Bowl. One of the things about the Super Bowl is the commercials, of course. And I know last year they were a little bit more adamant about putting some of those commercials already out there on YouTube or on other platforms of social media so you get an idea of what the commercial is so you don't even have to watch during the Super Bowl. But I always like the suspense of not knowing what commercials will come. But that's one thing to look forward to with the Super Bowl coming up is the commercials. And I was just pulling up an article a little bit ago that was talking about some of the top Super Bowl commercials of all time, and I was starting to think if I remember some of these commercials all together, and one that stands out in my mind is the I can't remember what year it was, but it was a Snickers commercial that had Betty White. One where she's out there in a football field playing with her buddies, and she gets tackled in the mud. And they go to the buddy and they say, "Hey, you're not yourself. Here, eat a Snickers." It transforms back. Yeah, that was one of my favorites. If you have any favorite Super Bowl commercials that you want to tell us about, give us a call, 622-9622, as we finish the last 17 minutes here till the top of the hour. And then we'll send you on your way for your Wednesday. The interesting thing is here with Super Bowl commercials all together. Yeah, it'd be interesting. We got a little bit there to choose from. Yeah, good morning. You're on the air. Good morning.
Yes, I'm just calling a little bit about the flight school and the airport and stuff like that. Just had a few questions and things.
Absolutely.
One of them was, like, besides the airport, and I understand what you were explaining about the FBO status and what have you compared to other airports, how is it that when you have so many different things in the community of these private airports and what have you, like Jambalaya, and then you have these air ranches where a number of houses, and they have their own hangars, 15, 20 people out there have their own planes, how do they deal with that, with all the traffic, and how's that dealt with? Because y'all on the same radio frequency or whatever?
Yeah, hey, no, that's a great question, because you're wondering, we have so much, like the community of flying alone around Ocala, not just the airport in itself, has a lot going on. Like you mentioned, Jambalaya, another grass strip that's just south of the airport. It's Shady, some other grass strips that are in the area in itself. Yeah, that's a great question. So in regards to where the location of the airport might be, let's say like Jambalaya, the airport around, or the area around the Ocala airport that extends for about 4 nautical miles from the center of where the airport is considered a specific classification of airspace that demands just a little bit more with what goes on because of higher volume traffic coming into that specific airport. So it's what they consider a Class Delta airport, where you do need to talk to the tower frequency and talk to Ocala Tower. Frequency is 119.25, where you're talking to them to give them a position report of your intentions to either come do landings at Ocala or land to get something to eat or whatever. But the other airports are just on the outskirts of that specific airspace, or what we call uncontrolled airspace. So they can monitor. If you're flying out of those little communities that have grass runways or like Jambalaya, you can monitor the frequencies of the Ocala Tower so you get an idea of traffic, and then they have their own frequencies that they're fielding themselves. I think at Jambalaya it's I don't think it's 122.9. That one's leeward. But they have their own frequencies that you're talking to each other within that airport. But no, that's a great question, because you'd like to think, man, is it still safe to fly around if I wanted to take off and land from my neighborhood? It sure is.
Right. Very interesting. Talking about frequencies, I just have a clock radio. I got a number of radios besides, one in the car and a big stereo and what have you. But my clock radio I have next to my bed, AM, FM, and listen to both AM and FM, but usually on FM. And certain times of the day, it's quite weird. Maybe it's my location. I don't know. I know we're in the flight pattern of Orlando when they're going in and taking off and landing. But I'll hear the frequencies, and I've always wondered that, and I wanted to talk to somebody that is knowledgeable about flying, what have you, and the frequencies, and I know the AM band and the megahertz and what have you, and the FM are different. Well, I thought they were different from airplanes frequencies, but I'll hear them literally talking to the Orlando tower.
Oh, is that right?
They're answering back and forth as they're coming in for a landing. And it's like, okay, what's going on here?
And that's through the AM that you hear that?
I hear it mostly on FM, but I hear them on both of them.
Interesting.
And it's just certain times of the day. It comes in and it just blocks out the radio frequency or the radio broadcast, and quite weird.
Yeah, no, that is. And somehow it bleeds through like that. I almost wish that kind of happened to me a little bit, because if I had the radio on, what I do sometimes at the house, it'd be kind of neat to hear.
Because I thought you had to be, I thought there were assigned special frequencies, that. And then, of course, you see on a piece of electrical equipment you buy at the store or whatever, say on the back, the FCC says, if you can, it has to accept interference from this, that, and the other. But I thought all these frequencies were in different ranges.
Yeah. That I'm not sure of, as far as like how it could possibly bleed through that.
Maybe send it to you, and maybe I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Maybe I can talk to somebody more specific in the avionics shop that might know that a little bit better than we do. Yeah. Interesting.
That's okay. Well,
now, have you?
Appreciate the information. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, have you ever gotten a flight in a smaller airplane yourself?
No, I haven't. Maybe do that someday. I haven't done that, but definitely it's an interesting thing, and I think it's neat.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for the call, partner.
Okay, well, you have a good one.
Yeah, you
Thank
too.
You. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Yeah, excellent there. A phone call. Great question about what goes on with some of the surrounding airports around Ocala in itself. And it's interesting that the idea of what they did to construct airspace, like I said, it's about 4 nautical miles from the center of the it's 4 nautical mile radius around the airport, that they actually have you mandatory have to talk to tower. Even if you're transitioning, it's good if you're going to be within that. But it only goes up to, from the surface, up to 1,500 feet. So it's really not even that high. Now, a lot of times, too, you guys see probably, even here in Ocala, a lot of bigger jets flying over the top, maybe leaving some of the contrails and everything, as you can assume that they're going into Orlando. See, they're talking on a whole different frequency, because they don't need to be talking anything with Ocala, considering that they're such a high altitude that they're not nowhere near the airspace that goes on for what we do. But that's interesting. Just bring that up a little bit. We got about 10 minutes till the top of the hour. Phone lines are open, 622-9622. I just want to give a shout out to who won the tickets there for the Hogtown Medieval Fair. Come on down, pick them up. Congratulations on that. It's the last weekend for it, January 31st to February 2nd. The 3 magical weekends that they were. There's 1 magical weekend left. The Hogtown Medieval Fair. And that's a pretty good get there with the tickets. We were discussing a lot today, just open potpourri topic conversation. That's the cool thing about this, is everything's open for discussion, so to speak. So if you guys have any comments or anything you'd like to bring to the table conversation-wise, feel free to give us a call. All that good stuff. It's it's open for you guys, the community, the public. We got, in the beginning of the 7 o'clock hour, we talked about a lot of events that were going on in Ocala that are coming up, some sooner than later. For example, the 30th, which is tomorrow, will be the beginning. That'll run through February 2nd there, the beginning of Patsy Cline, always Patsy Cline at the Ocala Civic Theater. That's coming up. And, of course, on Friday, a shout-out to all the veterans that we have the Veterans Stand Down, which would start from 9 a.m., runs to 3 p.m. with some of the stuff there. And, of course, what we have coming up, which I'm looking forward to, is the cattle drive that we have going on February 8th. So we were mentioning some of the stuff that's going on in the community with that. We had Ocala Aviation in here talking about the airport. We had a caller talking about some questions of aviation. It's kind of an aviation day. We talked to Galen a little bit about sports, what we had coming up for the Super Bowl on Sunday between the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. I think I'm going to talk a little bit more about that as the week goes on here, as we'll lead up to the weekend of Super Bowl, which should be a good one. I'm looking forward to it. I myself am a New Orleans Saints fan, and I was a little disappointed this year, 13-3 record, but still not making a big run in the playoffs. It gone different. The chips fell a different way. If Seattle would have scored at the end of the regular season and put the 49ers away there at the last game of the season, it would have moved things around completely different. And certain teams would have had byes that actually had to play in the first round, even though they had a 13-win season. So that's what made the playoffs interesting in itself. But if you told me that it would be these two teams, I would have said Kansas City, yeah. I didn't see San Francisco. But with the way they played this year, they deserve it as well. So that should be a good game overall. I'm looking forward to that. Little fun facts I'll leave with you just for a little bit for today. We were talking earlier about a college course of adulting that's actually turning away students because they have so many. Now in its second year, UC Berkeley basic life skills class has become so popular that it's had to turn almost 200 wannabe adulters away. The 8-week Pass No Pass course teaches young people how to be more responsible and grow up, i.e. how to adult. They learn how to budget for food, do taxes, manage relationships, and more. Now, we were also talking about, when Brad came in, he mentioned something about, well, that comes down to parenting, in a way that there should be a foundation laid about what it takes to be an adult and the idea of the, I guess you could say, the priorities of what needs to be handled when you're an adult. But who knows? That kind of sounds like a good thing overall, because even if somebody doesn't have the privilege of being able to have, both parents and all that good stuff, at least there's an opportunity for them to learn to what it takes to have some etiquette in society and be able to be professional in themselves when it comes down to actually taking care of the responsibility of being an adult. It's taken me a little while at times to do that. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, we got a caller. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Morning. How are you doing today?
Yes. All right, pretty good. Yes, my concern is about the Ocala airport.
Yeah.
If the airport could be expanded and turned into an international airport due to the large volume of people moving into Ocala, and people have to go all the way to Orlando, and Gainesville is not convenient because you have so many flights going internationally, and only Orlando you can really pick up a flight, which is about an hour and 20 minutes to get to Orlando, and not even good transportation to go down there. What do you think about it?
As in like Ocala Airport itself becoming international with commercial flights? That's what you're talking about?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Now, they don't really have that in the works. A lot of people confuse that idea, like I was saying, with the building of the new terminal and everything. That's not really in the works at the moment, from what we know. Also, too, with what's surrounding the airport in itself, I don't see them really doing anything to expand runways, to make them even bigger, to work on the logistics of doing something high volume like that. Also, too, with the property value that surrounds the airport, there's enough to say that with what can be built around the airport, that would depreciate some of it if you got the volume of what you would have from like an amount of commercial aviation that has multiple airlines in and out of there. Which is why we tell everybody with our sponsors there for Gainesville, it's a shorter drive and it's more convenient. And when it's all said and done, the price is even a little bit better. That if you fly out of Gainesville, you fly easy. So nothing that I know in the works of coming into the fruition of it becoming a large commercial airline type airport. A lot of the focus now is all more to the private charter corporate side of things, to bring people to Ocala that they have an opportunity to get to the city, because we do so much already with the horses, and so many people around the United States and the world fly into Ocala. So they're working for the logistics on that side of it to make that more appropriate. But as far as like making it convenient for regular people to just do commercial flights, that's not necessarily where they're going with it. But thanks for the call. Yeah, so that's okay. A lot of concerns overall about what goes into that and everything. Yeah, good morning. You're on the air. Yeah, good morning. Yeah, we lost him there. That's okay. We're coming up to the top of the hour here anyway. We've got a little bit going into tomorrow as well. We, let's see here, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. We'll be carrying ourselves into the rest of the week with a little bit going on with Galen, Lifeblood South, and then we'll have a couple phone interviews and everything from there. I think I got another caller. Give me 1 second. Hey, good morning. You're on the air. How's it going?
Yes, hello. Yeah, a really long time ago, there was a commuter airline that basically did it was Ocala, Orlando, Vero, Orlando, Ocala, and back a couple of times a day. And but that petered out around 1985 or something.
Yeah. And that was just little puddle jumpers to get you to Orlando to then fly out of Orlando and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And depending upon the interest, which I see that there is a lot of that might be a possibility for something small like that to maybe pop up again. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Even a flight to Gainesville.
You'd have to get a TSA set up in there now. That petered out before TSA.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, caller. Appreciate it. So we're coming into the top of the hour here. WOCA Ocala, thanks for listening today. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. I'm your host, Adam Mikulin, for AM Ocala Live as we get ready to sign off here as we made it through Wednesday. I want to thank everybody for listening. I want to thank Ocala Aviation for coming in. And I'm going to leave you guys to it. And join us tomorrow when we got a little bit more on the docket. And we'll be keeping it open for conversation and all kinds of good stuff. We want to hear from you. Just give us a call. Tomorrow we'll be looking forward to it. 622-9622 AM Ocala Live and WOCA Ocala. Thank you guys. Goodbye.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Senators at President Trump's impeachment trial assurance today with a vote expected Friday on whether to call witnesses like former National Security Advisor John Bolton.
Counsel for both sides will be on the spot today as a 16-hour question and answer period begins. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell told members he may not be able to stop the calling of additional witnesses.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland in D.C. A Connecticut man charged with murdering his wife is